Hello everybody and welcome to this video. Yes, you came for what you wanted. I will be doing a full analysis on the Ontario elections, and who should you vote for is the big question. We will be reviewing these candidates' entire platforms. So let's get straight in to the analysis. Here is your full disclaimer before this video begins. This video is purely based off of information I found off of the websites off of OntarioLiberal.ca, OntarioPC.ca, and OntarioNDP.ca. And I might be a little bit biased. I don't think I am, but you might think I am. So please don't deliver hate comments, and you can vote for anyone you want. And this video is just giving you an analysis of all of these candidates and parties' platforms before you vote. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. Also, I will be going deeper into politics. So if you're sensitive to these types of topics, then click off right now. Also, a like and a sub would be much appreciated since this is my first video and I'm actually putting in a lot more effort maybe than you think I am. So welcome. Our first topic on this video is going to be directed at the economy. So if you're not here for the full video, this is kind of the most important topic, and we'll be going over an overview of things here. We'll have 10 topics in this video, but this is the first one, probably the biggest one. So if you don't want to watch the whole thing, then I recommend you just watch this topic. So let's get into it. So first off, let's see what the Conservatives are going to do in the economic topic, or what their platform is just. They want to build more roads and highways. Just some examples are the Bradford Bypass and Highway 413. Now, the Bradford Bypass is a highway between the 404 and the 400 running over Bradford, as you might expect. And Highway 413, I believe, is from Milton to Vaughan. And Highway 413 especially is going to help the big rigs, especially since, Vaughan, Brampton, Mississauga are, all places that have a lot of industry. So, it's essential for big rigs. That's what a lot of big rigs are saying, that it will really help them reduce time and it will help the economy grow. They also want to build up the northern industries and make it more relevant to the economy. And the way they want to do this is rebuild the automotive industry. And they want to rebuild it by Ontario. They don't want to be dependent on other people, the Conservatives, on other people, other countries for their automotives. So the way they want to do this, and that's how they're going to rebuild the North, they're going to make it into a huge auto industry. We'll go more deep into this, but in Sudbury and the North, you have a lot of minerals. So, just as you might expect, car batteries need minerals. So, what do you expect? They might use this for EV batteries, and that's also a plan to kind of green the province. They also want to reduce the price of housing. I think every party wants to do this, but Doug Ford and the PCs have a plan to build more houses, build these highways. They say it will all help with this. So let's see if their plan holds up. Obviously, just to mention, these parties might be lying. They might not tell the truth, but I'm going off of what their platform is saying. So let's get in to what the Liberals have to say. So first of all, the Liberals are planning to scrap Highway 413 or 413, whatever you want to call it. Now, this is huge for the industries in Brampton, Mississauga, because all of them are kind of anticipating this highway. Maybe not really, since the elections are coming up, maybe, but, this was still a big thing. And, they're planning to scrap it. One of the ads, I don't know if it was by the Liberals or the NDPs, but I wanted to put it in. I couldn't find it. They said, you're going to save 30 seconds in traffic. So, there's no point of making this highway, for 30 seconds? He says he wants to bring you to your family, but it's only 30 seconds, blah, blah, blah. So what does he want to do with this money? Well, he wants to build up the education system. He wants to build and repair schools and clear that backlog. We'll go deeper into that, into another topic. He also wants to hire 10,000 new teachers. And there has been, less teachers as of recently in the education system because of, the pandemic and, how it's affected the education system. He also wants to help small businesses, and he's taking advantage of an NDP ad that I showed you that's saying, Doug Ford, why do you support the big box stores over the small local businesses? And they're taking advantage of that. So he wants to eliminate some taxes for those businesses. We'll go into it later. But yeah, this taking advantage could make a real difference for small business owners and who they want to choose for this campaign. So let's look at what the NDPs will do for your economy right now. So the NDP are planning to build up the North. Now this is something that the Conservatives also want to do, if you are watching 2 minutes ago. Their plan is a little different, as they're not focusing on the automotive industry as much. They're focusing on greener jobs. This also includes cars like EVs. They also want to be net zero emissions by 2050. And, this is a big thing. They're, targeting the North as well. And the North is going to be a real part of this election. NDP, if you look at the map for last election, they actually did kind of well in the North. If you look at the 2018 map, kind of their seats were in the North, and as Doug Ford, performed better, maybe more South. The NDP also want to recover small businesses, kind of like the Liberals want to do, but they actually had an ad for it, so, they're trying to target Doug Ford's being for, the big, retail companies. Well, the NDP want to support small businesses. Now, their plan is not the same as the Liberals. We might get into it in another topic. They also want to protect farmland. This is one that's kind of weird to me, but obviously I took this off of their website, and they said that how they want to protect farmland is, Doug Ford is planning to build more roads and highways, right? The PCs, more roads and highways. Anything that's going to destroy farmland, which the NDP does have a point on that. Farmland is kind of getting sold to build the Bradford bypass. I don't know about Highway 413 as much since it's closer to the city, but I know for the Bradford bypass, some land is being sold to the province to make that highway. So Andrea Horwath, is planning, I don't know if she's planning to scrap the highways, but she wants to protect the farmland of Ontario, and she has a food plan to kind of make more food in Ontario. So that's what the NDP has to offer you. So let's dive into our second topic. Now, our second topic is healthcare. Now, healthcare has been one of the top concerns for Ontarians in polls by Nanos Research and other polls that I've been seeing on the news. Healthcare, economy and jobs, environment, climate change, that has all been up there. And that's why we are covering these topics, because they are the topics that are most wanted by the Ontarians, but healthcare especially wanted. So let's look at what the Conservatives are willing to do for the healthcare sector. So what will the Conservatives do for the healthcare? Well, what we know so far of, as of filming this video, they have unveiled a few days ago that they are going to be building a hospital in Windsor, Essex. Now, this hospital is going to be fairly big. I don't know all the details about it, but it's a hospital nonetheless. So, it's going to help people save their lives. They also want to add more beds. That is something, they have said. They have criticized, the previous Liberal government for not preparing them for the pandemic because they didn't add enough beds, which maybe is a point, but, I don't know. Also, they want to plan to stay open. They want to have enough beds. They want to have enough hospitals that they can stay open. They don't want to go back in lockdown because they don't want their economy to go down. They want their economy to be stronger. They want their economy to lead Canada as a whole. And that is a huge thing. They also want to hire more workers in the medical field. And that will be huge to their pledge to stay open. So they need, to get this plan, they need more medical workers, they need more hospitals, and they need more beds. So if they can achieve this plan that will let them stay open, it will be a big win for the Conservatives if they are elected. So let's look at what the Liberals have to offer in the healthcare sector. Now, this is major. The Liberals are planning to hire 100,000 new workers in the medical field. Now, that is huge. 100,000. That is a lot of people, considering, Ontario's population is about 15 million. That is a huge number of people. He also wants to clear the surgical backlog, which is something that's very key and could get people who need surgery on the Liberal side. You also want to make sure that everybody has a family doctor, no matter, the amount of money you have or anything. He wants to make sure everybody has a doctor. He also wants to help with mental health by hiring 3,000 mental health workers to help, people with their mental health. So this is the Liberals' plan for the healthcare sector. So let's look at what the NDP has to offer next. So the NDP's plan is kind of similar to the Liberals' plan, but it is a bit different. So let's look at it right here. So what their plan is to fix the mental health system. Now they're saying the system, Doug Ford kind of broke it. It's not a good system, so we need a new one. The NDP also wants to improve crisis response, improve the line, and make it more easy and accessible. Just like the Liberals, they want to invest to eliminate the surgical backlog, and that is a very big thing that I think all parties should be focusing on. They also want to hire 30,000 nurses. Not 100,000, but again, for the Liberals, that was in the medical field. For the NDP, it's just nurses. Keep that in mind. So let's get on to our third topic. So our third topic is about the cost of living, and this is a huge issue in Ontario as prices are skyrocketing everywhere across the province. So what will the parties of the future do to lower that cost down? Now, first off, we have to look at what the Conservatives will do. Now, they want to build 1.5 million new homes over 10 years, which is about 150,000 every year, which is huge and would lower prices of homes, definitely. Not only that, but the Conservatives are making it so there's no more tolls on roads or highways. Now, this is not for every road, every highway, but this is for most, I'd say. Maybe you would have exceptions like the 407, but some highways where you'd usually need tolls, and now you're not going to have them anymore. Also, you don't have any license plate fees. Usually you have to pay to renew your license plate, and it costs around $125. And now you don't have to do that. So, this was implemented about, a month ago. And, it saves people some cash. And that cash can make a difference. You can buy, a lot for $125. They're also lowering the gas tax, or eliminating it, sorry, saving you about 5.7 cents. I just rounded it up to 6 cents. But yeah, 6 cents can make a difference today, especially as gas prices are so high. This thing could turn a lot of voters towards the conservative side. So let's look at what the Liberals are going to do next. So what will the Liberals do about the cost of living? Well, just like the Conservatives, they want to build 1.5 million new homes. Now that seems like a big number, but it will probably happen over 10 to 15 years. Just like the Conservatives, I don't think they can do it in like 2 years, maybe in 5. But I don't think they can do it in one term. Also, they want to do rent control. They want to have rent control. And they want to make food cheaper. They want to eliminate some extra, HST or tax on it. And that's okay. It saves you about 5%. That might not sound like much, but over time, that really, goes, up and up and up. That, you save more and more and more. Also, they want to raise the minimum wage. Now, this is probably a controversial decision, but maybe right now, since there's a lot of inflation, it has to be done. We will see what the backlash is. But yeah, this is what the Liberals' plan is. Now, let's look at what the NDP has to offer. So, the NDP's plan is a little different because their plan is to build 250,000 affordable homes. And they said affordable, the Liberals or the PC didn't say they want to build affordable homes, although they are building 8 times the amount of homes. It might not, this sounds like little, but this will probably happen over the scale of 4 years. The NDP also want to create more housing benefits. They also want to help 300,000 households pay rent, which is a huge number. And again, what those housing benefits may be, I haven't gotten the full information yet on their site. Maybe if you look deeper, but I don't know. They want to make the homes affordable. Now, how can they make the homes affordable? We will see. They also want rent control back, just like the Liberals. So this is the NDP's plan. Let's head to the 4th topic of this video. Here is our 4th topic, and this topic is about higher wages and what will, these parties will do about wages. So let's look at what the Conservatives will do. So the Conservatives are looking at creating new jobs in the North. Now, this is, they've been focused on the North, so, kind of like the economy, it's kind of similar, but I said that topic would be an overview. They want to especially focus on areas like Timmins, Sudbury, and, getting more, minerals and trade through those areas. And they also want to build auto factories there because of the minerals, the convenience, it's close, will save you money. And yeah, it can make for a really good business. Also, the Conservatives want to get more people into the skilled trades. Now, this is something that could, equal better jobs, and it could equal, higher wages. And the Conservatives also want to make it easier for newcomers to start. Now, we'll go more in depth on that in another topic, but now let's look at what the Liberals are going to do to help with your wages. Now, a 4-day work week sounds like something, absurd. Like, how is that going to help you with your wages? If anything, you're getting less money. But the Liberals are saying that, you're going to get the same amount of money and you're going to get more time at home. So it's going to be, better overall, and it will help your well-being and, your motivation They're also going to add more paid sick days. Now, this is something that is, we'll go deeper into other topics, but they also want to give you more benefits, benefits if you're this, benefits if you're that, They want to give more opportunities for benefits. We'll also go deeper into that in another topic. This one, eliminate incorporation fees for new businesses. I think this is for 2 years now. This is huge for new business starters. I mean, this could really, advocate for more new businesses to start up in the province. So that's what the Liberals are giving you. Let's look at what the NDP are giving you next. So their plan for wages is actually kind of similar to the Liberals, but they want to work with the federal government here. And how are they going to do that? They want to increase wages for child care workers in that sector especially. They also want to give you $10 a day childcare, just like the federal government. They want to work to implement that faster and faster. They also want more benefits for workers. Maybe not, wages. They also want to increase wages overall, but they want to also have more benefits. And just like the Liberals, they want to have a 4-day work week, these parties are focusing on mental health. They want, it's for your well-being. Now, it sounds good, but some people can't do a 4-day work week. There's some businesses that are 24/7. Like, if, you're a cashier, you can't just take, 3 days off. I mean, maybe, but, if you're like, let's say, a security guard, a business like that, it kind of is 24/7. Not everybody can do a 4-day work week, those essential jobs, being a nurse, you can't do that 4 days. So, it might not be for everybody, and, plan might backfire because it depends what job you are, but it is a proposal nonetheless. So let's go to our 5th topic. So in this topic, we are overall kind of looking at taxes and how much these governments are, going to spend. Kind of in the gist of that. Now, in this topic, I couldn't find, as much as all the other topics. So, again, we might have, some things. I really did try to find things for this topic. So, let's get into it. And let's see what the Conservatives are going to do to lower your taxes, or what you are going to have to spend during his government. So again, the Conservatives are wanting to cut the gas tax. Like I said before, this, will save you approximately 6 cents. And he's advocating, under my government, you're going to save more money. He also wants no more license plate fees. Now, when you go take a picture for your license plate, I already mentioned this. It costs around $100, $125. How many times do you have to do it? Maybe like every 2 to 5 years. I'm not sure. But, that can save you, over a decade, maybe let's say like $1,000, if you go every year. So, it's the little things maybe that the Conservative government are taking into effect. He also wants to make more things in Ontario become more independent. He doesn't want to rely on other countries. Let's say like the U.S., Europe, Asia, all of that. He doesn't want, the Conservatives, Doug Ford and the Conservatives don't want to rely on that. They want to become more independent, and that will give more jobs. So, the government doesn't have to import as much, and they're seeing it as, that's kind of going to make life easier, especially if the economy depends on Ontario itself. It will make it more reliant on itself, and, they're saying that will help it, that will lower, the cost of life. So, let's look at what the Liberals are doing for the taxes next. So, the Liberals are planning less taxes for small and new businesses for 2 years. Now, this is a quick start. Now, this could help and advocate for more small businesses and new businesses. And it's a good proposal, I say. And they But, how much will that cost in government tax? Will your taxes have to rise? Because, there's a bunch of small business, a bunch of new businesses. I mean, obviously, you want less taxes, but will that make other taxes go up? I don't know if they've really considered that. Also, they want to give businesses $200 a day to compensate for the workers off the job. Like I said before, you have more paid sick days now, so they're giving businesses $200 a day to compensate for workers off the job. Now, this $200 a day, might not seem like much for the big businesses, but they can manage kind of on their own. But for the small businesses, this will help. So they're aiming at, Doug Ford's weakness. He sided with the big box stores, so now they're trying to target him, by looking at small new businesses, trying to help them out. And that's, going to be something that small businesses and people who want to make new businesses are really going to think about while they vote for this election. So let's look at what the NDP are doing now. So the NDP want to make a provincial food strategy. Now this is kind of not to import as much food and try to make as much food as possible. I mean, Ontario's in Canada, and Canada kind of gets cold, so you can't, always make that much food, but they want to make themselves more self-reliant, which is good for Ontario. Also want to regulate gas. Now, this is something that might actually drive gas prices up. Though the NDP are saying otherwise, it could drive gas up. The NDP also want an independent consumer watchdog so people don't get ripped off. Now, this might be good, but this plan could also backfire. So now let's get into the sixth topic. And let's get into our sixth topic. So this topic is about education. Now, the Liberals might do stronger here since they have really been focusing on education. So let's look firstly at what the Conservatives are willing to do. So the Conservatives want to expand the 3-year college degrees. Also, they want to invest in training newcomers to make them more successful. They also do want to increase the minimum wage. Now, all parties kind of want to do this, but the Conservatives, I think they want to do it a bit less. Now, we already kind of covered the training newcomers, but they also want to overall just make it easier to get an education, college degrees, all of that. They just want to make it easier. So, this is huge, but let's see what the Liberals have to offer next. So, the Liberals are looking for smaller class sizes. Now, they want to cap it at about 20. Now, this is huge because, that's been a big thing, and they want to cap class sizes. Also, they want to make an optional grade 13. Now, this could actually be a good idea because, grade 13, you haven't really seen it. Maybe it used to be a thing, I think. Maybe, I don't know. But, this could let students catch up for university. So if it's looking unlikely that you're going to go to university, this grade 13 idea could actually be a pretty good one. They also want to clear the 10-year backlog and repair all the schools. They also want to eliminate interest on student loans. Now, I don't know if they completely want to eliminate it, but this is what I saw. So let's look now at what the NDP are going to do for your education. So the NDP are planning to hire 20,000 teachers. Now, this is a big number considering the Liberals only wanted to hire around 10,000 teachers. They want to cap class sizes between 18 and 24, depending, what grade you are. This is only for elementary school. I'm pretty sure the Liberals is only through elementary school, too. They also want to hire more maintenance staff, like custodians, because they want to, keep the schools maintain, and, they just want to hire more maintenance staff. Also, they want to end the school repair backlog, just like the Liberals do. And they want to get schools fully repaired. So, now, let's get to our seventh topic. one of the most important topics for the Ontarians by far, I would say. So let's get into it. So, topic number 7, green energy, a huge one, especially since the world is converting to green energy. This is one that is going to be a really big topic. So firstly, let's look at what the Conservatives are going to do, and they have a plan for sure. So let's look at it. Now, firstly, their plan doesn't really sound that good. They want to extract more minerals from the north. Now, that might sound bad because, minerals you kind of need to extract could, give more pollution. But what they want to do with those minerals is good. So they want to extract more and more and more minerals. This is how they plan to run their auto industry. It's kind of like a cycle, and it works out for them. They extract minerals, they build an auto industry, and they build green vehicles. They also want to make batteries to power these vehicles. They want to become greener in the auto industry as well. They want to become a leader in North America. Now, if this plan goes to plan, if they extract more minerals and there's, enough cobalt, lithium, if there's enough of those minerals, Ontario could be a key producer in these green vehicles. So if their plan goes to plan, then this is a really big thing that could keep the Conservatives in power. Now, let's look at what the Liberals are going to do for the green energy. Now, the Liberals want to create more green jobs. Now, this is a big one. Slowly our society is transitioning into a greener one. So, they want to create more green jobs. That is a good idea. They just want to make EVs affordable. And this is, big to Ontario because EVs, even if, the Conservatives make the EVs, will they be affordable? Because if they're not affordable, things won't change. People are still going to use gas cars. And that's why EVs haven't been brought to their full potential. They're costing too much money. An average family can't afford an EV, and that's going to be a really tough thing that, if the Liberals can do, will make EVs come to the car market, to the auto market way faster because, EVs being affordable is something huge. They just want to prepare homes for climate change. No, maybe they want to put solar panels. I didn't read everything, but they want to prepare homes kind of for climate change, make them more resistant. They also want to achieve net zero emissions by 2050, something that, all world governments really want to do. But, can they do it is the question now. The Liberals think they can, so let's look at what the NDP are doing next. Well, the NDP's plan is actually different. They want to create a youth climate corporation. Now, this is pretty big because the NDP is looking more at youth and saying, they kind of brought this climate change idea up. Maybe they should have their own corporation here. They might be better at this than we are. They just want to achieve net zero by 2050, obviously, just like the Liberals do. Can they achieve this? We will see. They want to ban non-medical single-use plastics by 2024. So it's 2 years into their government. There's going to be no more single-use plastics unless it's for medical reasons, obviously. They also want to expand recycling and composting services. Now, this is big because some areas, especially the more north you go, there's not really a recycling truck that, just comes up, especially in a very rural area where there's 10 houses in a neighborhood, There's not going to be really a garbage truck that comes up. So if the NDP can do that, that will be a huge, thing. But again, just looking at all these, parties' campaign, how are they going to pay for it is a huge thing. So that's why we looked at taxes. But now let's get on to our 8th topic. So, topic number 8, unemployment and jobs. So, this topic is going to be talking about, mostly jobs, not really unemployment. None of their platforms really are talking about that, but I think it's more of, more like a country thing, not really a provincial thing, more like on the federal level, focuses on employment. But let's look at jobs. So let's look at what the conservatives are going to do first off. So first off, the conservatives are going to get younger people into skilled trades, just like we mentioned before. They want to kind of make it easier to get an education, and this is going to be good with jobs because, if you get into skilled trades, you are more likely to get a better job. Let's want to open up jobs in the auto and construction industry, especially with, their plan for the auto industry. That's been one of their biggest plans. They also want to, their construction industry, if their Bradford bypass, Highway 413, their Northlander Highway, I'm pretty sure it's called, that can get so many people in the construction industry and create so many jobs. They also want to open up, just in general, more manufacturing jobs. They want to be more independent. They want to rely, it even says, you don't rely on PPE and medical things, if we have another wave of this pandemic. We don't want to rely on other provinces or even other countries. We want to, open up more manufacturing jobs for our province right here. We want to become a net exporter. We also want to invest in the skilled trade to get more people in. Not only do they want, to get more people in, they're going to invest to get more people in. So let's look at what the Liberals are doing next. So the Liberals are going to create 100,000 jobs in the medical field. Now, this is what they've said. Don't know how many years, but again, Ontario has a population of 15 million people. 100,000 jobs in the medical field, that is a lot. That means, that is actually a lot of jobs. They also want to create high quality benefits, not just benefits, high quality benefits. They also want to make college or university more affordable. Now, this is something big, because, a lot of it, there's a lot of student loans. How they want to do this, eliminate interest on student loans, and just overall try to make it more affordable. And they also want to eliminate taxes on business. They might be asking, what does this have to do with jobs? What does college, university, and eliminating taxes have to do with jobs? Well, if college and university is more affordable, more people will go and more people will get good jobs. Also, eliminating taxes on new businesses makes, people want to, open up new businesses even more. So it does work out, but let's look next at what the NDP has to offer. So the NDP wanted to create 1 million green jobs. Now, this is a huge amount. Now, how much time is this going to take? Maybe I'd say a decade or two, probably, just off of estimating. They also want to remove barriers from joining unions. Now, unions are very controversial. I don't want to be talking about them. But yeah, they're going to remove barriers from joining unions. Also, they want to, open up new ways of working, maybe like online, other things. You can work from home because maybe, some people it's just easier to work from home. They also want thousands of green certified jobs. Now, they said they want to create 1 million green jobs, but I guess they want thousands of green certified jobs. I don't know how that works, but let's get into our second last topic, our 9th topic. So this topic is about the environment. You might think it's kind of like green energy, but no, they are different. So, I don't want to make this introduction long. It's the environment, greenery. So let's see what the conservatives are going to do for your environment. Now, what are the conservatives going to do? Well, they are making greener vehicles. Now, this might not sound like a lot, but, without pollution, the environment can prosper more. They're also securing a $3.6 billion investment to be a leader in EVs in North America. This is huge. Now, they really, really want to build their auto industry. So they've even made an EV battery. They're planning to make an EV battery pack testing center. And they also want to make a new research center for a greener environment. And, they want to make research centers on, auto industry. And the conservative, one of their main things have been the auto industry. They're really focusing on the auto industry. a lot, and, other parties might be focusing more on transit, but, the Conservatives are really focusing on the auto industry. So let's look at what the Liberals have to offer for your environment next. So the Liberals' plan is to plant 100 million trees every year for 8 years. That totals to close to a billion trees. A billion trees is a lot of trees. They also want to add 5 provincial parks. And they want to make more reserve land. They also want to restore ecosystems and lower air pollution levels. So now let's look at what the NDP have to offer. Now, the NDP's strategy is similar to the Liberals' strategy. So, first of all, they want to expand Ontario's green belt. Next up, they want to plant 1 billion trees by 2030. So, kind of like the Liberals, but in 8 years they're going to plant 1 billion trees instead of 800 million. So even better than the Liberals. They're planting more trees. They're also expanding access to parks across all of Ontario, provincial parks, normal parks, those regular small parks, So they just want to expand access to parks in an area, kind of to rest. They also want to invest in forest fire protection. They don't want any more forest fires, so the 1 billion trees that they plant will not just burn instantly. So let's look at our final topic. If you have made it this far, leave a sub and make sure to like because you've came this far. Thank you so much if you came this far. I know many people have not. But let's go to our final topic now. So, this is our final topic. If you've made it this far, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I know I just said that like a couple of seconds ago. But yeah, I really appreciate it if you have made it this far. It's been, it's taken me a long time to film this video, but I'll say that at the end of the video. Let's get on to infrastructure and transportation with this topic. Let's see what the Conservatives will do for your transportation and infrastructure. So the Conservatives' plan is, to build Highway 413 and the Bradford Bypass. Now the Bradford Bypass, again, like I said at the start of the video, is from the 404 to the 400, goes over Bradford, unsurprisingly. They also want to expand the GO train system to London and Bowmanville. I don't know how you say that. I'll just say Bowmanville. They also want to build 1.5 million homes over a decade, I believe. They also want to build key industries, not infrastructure. I guess infrastructure and industries in the north. Now, this is huge. They really are focusing on building up the north. Every party leader has gone to the north. They've debated in Timmins already as of filming this video. So, they're really focused on the north. So let's look at what your Liberals are going to do for your infrastructure and your transportation. So the Liberals will cut transit fees to $1, and they'll also make season passes or monthly passes to $40. They also do want to build 1.5 million homes, just like the Conservatives. I think over around the same period of time. But here's a big change. They want to scrap Highway 413. Now I already mentioned this. I think I already mentioned most of this, but it is big, and it could impact, truckers' voters, because truckers, they're saying with Highway 413, it could be way easier to transport across the GTA. It would be a blessing. Now, let's look at the education sector. They want to build more education centers, repair that. That is their main thing. They want to educate a lot of people. So they're going to build more education centers. It makes sense, right? Okay, let's go to what the NDP's plan is next. Now, the NDP doesn't have, so many plans for infrastructure, but let's look at them real quick. They want to have a climate stress test for infrastructure, so if climate change is affected them, or if they emit pollution, they kind of got to get out of here. So yeah, they're having a climate stress test. I don't really know what that means, but we'll see if they get elected. Also, they want to do winter road maintenance, and this is something big because usually in the winter, and this is why some highways like 413 and Bradford Bypass, especially Bradford Bypass, because there's no really main highway or bypass, that north, not from east to west at least. It's, it goes up to the 407. Now the Bradford Bypass, if there's a road, those roads usually have one or two lanes. So, if a car crashes, you'd probably have to go, it'd probably take up like 20, 30 minutes. Now, if those roads, if the Bradford Bypass is built, it, would make transporting from east to west way easier, especially over that developing area of Bradford. Also, the NDP want to get needed roads built. Now, do they think that, Highway 13 and Bradford Bypass are needed? I don't think so. I guess not. But, they do want to get needed roads built. It depends what, truckers might need Highway 413. And technically, no, Ontario doesn't need any more roads. But, logically, it'd be way better if we got more roads built. Also, they want to make Metrolinx more transparent. So, let's get to the credits. So, here are the sources I used, and I am actually so surprised that I only stuck to these 3 sources. But now this video is based off of, their websites, their platform. I'm so surprised, actually. I didn't use anything else. Just used these 3 websites. OntarioPC.ca, OntarioLiberal.ca, and OntarioNDP.ca. So if you want to go check out those sites, you'll probably see everything that was in this video, or around everything, 95, 99%. So, yeah, if you want to check out these sites, you can. You will get more information about their platform. Maybe more than you got here, because this is kind of more of an overview of every single topic. But I hope this was a good analysis. So, yeah. So, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, you are incredible. I don't know how much I can thank you. Now, if you want to do more research, this was a full analysis, and we've come to the conclusion. Who should you vote for? Well, it honestly depends on what, I've told you here and what affects you. Maybe if education affects you, maybe you should vote for the Liberals. If, you're a trucker and maybe you want highways to get easier across the GTA, maybe you should vote for the Conservatives. And, if you're more, a climate person, maybe you should vote for the NDP. Now, I didn't include the Green Party because, they rarely get any votes. And the NDP actually looked like it would, do something, especially considering the 2018 interactive map. So, thank you so much for watching. If this video blows up, thank you so much. If it doesn't, well, then it doesn't. I mean, anyways, after June, it won't get any more views. This is my first video. I put a lot of effort in. I don't know how many views I'll get, but even if I get over 50, I will be happy. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.